All right, so we've talked about lists in the SharePoint features lesson, and we talked about all the columns you can use. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to create a custom list in SharePoint. So you'll go to the site you want to create the list in. In this case, it's going to be my team site, which is private. And I'm going to click on the gear symbol, and I'm going to click Add an App. And so one of the ones in Noteworthy happens to be custom list. So I'm going to call this my grocery list. I've used this list as an example in previous ones, and I don't always keep it around. So a lot of times I'll delete the ones that I make. So I'm just going to show you how to make a custom list right now. So whenever you add it to the page, you're going to get a title column created for you automatically. It has to have some kind of column in it. So what I'll do is just create a new item to show you what it will add. So we'll do new item and then put in eggs. And so now you can see that there is one column, and then we've got our more buttons after this where we can view, edit, workflows, all of that. So now what we'll do is we'll click on edit this list just to make everything easier. I added that eggs in there. You can do it without adding an item, but it just makes more sense to me. So let's go ahead and click on rename column. You're going to hover over the title column here and click on it, and that'll give you the option to rename it. So let's call this item name and click off, and then that'll change the field. And then we'll go ahead and click on the plus symbol, and you'll see four column types that are pretty common. But what we'll do here is we're going to choose more column types. So every column you can make in SharePoint, we've gone over these in the list features. Every column you could possibly want to make in SharePoint is in that list. So what we'll do is we'll create a column for price. And since price is dealing with the cost in money, we'll click there. So then we'll go down and there's the description field. We could put something in there, and I'll just put cost of the item, and I'll show you where that comes up. We can require the column that contain information, but I'm not going to do that because sometimes you just don't know how much things cost. Enforce unique values. Maybe you have $50 to spend on one item, so we want to make sure only one item costs $50. I don't know. That's just an option you have for that. And then you can set decimal places, and for this we'll just use 2. You might want to use, 5 if you're doing some serious monetary calculation. And then you can also set a default value. So if I wanted to make the default value of something $1, so you could just quickly enter it without having to, if you're going to a dollar store, if you have a dollar store shopping list, do that. But it also is applicable in other situations. But so we'll just leave that there and click OK. And so you can see that my price column is now added. So if I click stop editing, I'll then have my list. And if I want to, I will, let's see here. I think I want to edit this. So we'll click on the item name, which is eggs, and this will take me to the item page. So then I'll click on edit item, and I'll enter a price for the eggs, and I'm going to say they're $2.15. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to add, I'm going to add another column. So I'll go to edit this list, and I'm going to add a choice column. Choice columns are pretty cool, and they're pretty commonly used. I'm going to say section. I know the article kind of goes into more detail, but I'm just going to give you a demonstration here without trying to follow it. That's why I kept pausing a minute ago. So let's say the section of the store, we have the frozen food, we have the bakery, we have home goods, and pharmacy. Okay, so you can require that it has some, you can enforce unique values just like the other ones. You can choose drop-down menu if you want to choose one that way. Radio buttons, or if you want to allow them to check more than one, you can use checkboxes. So I just use drop-down menu most of the time. For fill-in choices, this is pretty cool. So if there's a different section, you can actually have them fill in an answer. It won't add it to the list of items, to the choices in here. If I put in, bakery, or sorry, I've already got bakery. If I put in pet aisle, it would let me put that in there, but it wouldn't add it to the list of choices. And then the last one is the default value. So I could make the default value bakery. And then we'll click OK. So now I can go in and go to this section and I can say eggs are in the, they're actually, they're in the cold foods, but we'll just use frozen for the time being, frozen eggs. So that is that's basically how you create all these columns. You can do person or group. And so then I can type in like Charles. Actually, you can search here. Hey, there's Charles. And it's going to put a weird name in there, but it makes sense to SharePoint, so just let it be. So we'll leave that blank. And let's add one more, maybe one of these other complicated ones. Let's do a lookup. So we'll call this a lookup. And let's see, you can get information from documents, grocery. Let's do grocery. That's this list. And in this column, we'll put item name. So you can also, if I choose eggs, I can actually add another column for whatever else, but I'll just click OK here. So now I can go to my lookup column. I'll stop editing the list and then I'll edit it again. And my lookup column should contain eggs. Now watch this. If I add bread, and it's $2.50, and it's in the bakery, and I'll add myself to that. See, it picked my name out of the people picker there. Then I can actually go in and choose bread. So that's how a lookup column works. It's looking up information that's already in this list. There's some other ones on here that you probably won't deal with too much. Here's one that's calculated. So let me show you how a calculated column looks. Let's add a column for, let's do a yes or no for a coupon. Or actually, let's just call it coupon savings. And we'll make this a number. And then we can come down here and do show as a percentage. So we'll just save that. And coupon savings. Eggs, let's say we get 25% off the eggs. And for bread, we get 15% off the eggs. Okay, now let's make a calculated column that will calculate how much money we will save on those eggs. Cost of item, and that's after the coupon. So we'll do price. What is it? Divided by 1. Let me figure this out. Hang on. Okay, sorry, I had a mental lapse in math. So we'll do price times, and we'll do coupon savings. Put that in parentheses, and then we'll say, oops, we'll do price. Here we go. Price minus price times coupon savings, right? Yes, I think so. And we'll return it as currency. If this doesn't work, it doesn't work. So let's just see. I'll hit OK. So now our calculated column should be 161. So let's do this. Let's make this price something easy to understand. If we save 25% on an item, we'll just make it $4. That would mean we'd get the eggs for $3. Boom. So that's how a calculated column works. I apologize for my terrible skill in mathematics. But so that's how you can create a single column of text, I'll show you really quick the multiple lines of text. Okay. So we'll say get organic eggs only. I'll stop editing the list. So it's only one line of text. But if I go in and actually click on this item, you can see that the field for editing the item is pretty big. So I could, and exclamation point, couple spaces, copy, and oh Lord, it's going to do this. So I can just put in a bunch of garbage afterwards and save it. And then it'll actually put the multiple lines of text in there. So that's pretty much how that works. We're going to use this list a little bit more in the next couple of examples. So if you followed along, it will explain, it'll make sense. So that's how you create a custom list. Most of the other ones that are built in are pretty easy. So wanted to go over this with you. If you have any trouble, just review the article. Shoot me an email. I might be able to help you. Matt@simplifiedsharepoint.com. And be sure to check out the other lessons. And other than that, have a good one.